Hello everyone. This is a bit weird. I spend my life in a tiny little room, usually on my own, trying to make a film. And so being in an enormous room with lots of people is a bit frightening. So if I go a bit quiet, it's only terror. It was a good lesson in life, actually, the just seeing the film clip of that, because I had some friends in the crowd, and it shows that I'm quite nervous about being in front of lots of people, doing this. Because they could see it on the screen, just my arm. There's just my arm in. My arm was the only thing was in shot. So yeah. So my job, I'm a documentary film editor, which you might have seen some of the other things I've done. I cut the first series of The Apprentice. I cut a series called Coppers on Channel 4. And also I did the first series of 24 Hours in A&E, which sort of goes on forever and ever. Making docs for an editor is a little bit like putting together jigsaw puzzles, but you don't have any reference picture for what it looks like. So you'd have very excited people coming in going, I've filmed for a year and this is it. I don't know what it is. Bye. And then I watch it all and try and find the right pieces and put them together in the right order to make a good film. And I suppose what I wanted to do today was to talk about some of the pieces in my life that made some sense of me in the same way. And one of them was coming here to Clare's Court. I arrived at Clare's Court as quite a terrified 11-year-old boy. Not because of the place, but because I had quite a big task ahead of me, a bit of a challenge. So at that point, I'd just been told I was quite severely dyslexic, which meant that I was rubbish at reading and writing. I was terrible, really bad, hopeless. And with the help of the school and the wonderful teachers here, I managed to overcome it. And they made me literate, which was, at the time, I kind of, I didn't really appreciate what it meant. But it's only as I've sort of grown up, I've kind of realised what it means. Another sort of point, that's quite an important piece of my story, is that the next piece for me is when I first got a chance to edit something. And it was actually an old school boy here who got me my first job as a runner, working for Disney. He got me in there, and there was a fella who was cutting this particular series we were doing called Sean Barton, and Sean Barton cut Return of the Jedi. And I thought he was the most amazing thing in the world. Sean isn't that amazing, he's quite ordinary, really. In fact, he does have one very extraordinary feature, which is his agent, who actually genuinely wears a feather boa. And we're coming going, you're killing him, you're killing him. And he weren't. I mean, Sean was just in his room reading The Guardian. But, it got him money, so it worked. So that was good. But he let me cut some stuff, and he said, no, you're good at this, you can do this. And I thought, my God, and the penny dropped. And I thought, Christ, there may be something I can actually do in my life, with my life. And I'd never really looked back. The thing for me was that we were doing a drama then, but I wanted to do documentaries, because for me, real people telling real stories is far more compelling and moving. I remember seeing a film when I was quite young called 14 Days in May about death row, and it literally changed the way I looked at other human beings. And there's something incredibly powerful about that. So I'm about to go on and make a film with Ben, who I did 7/7, about death row. And I hope that I can make other people open their eyes and make them see the world in a different way. I was sort of inspired to do that. Just as a sideline, I'll end with this because it's a bit of a weird fact. Part of my job as an editor is also occasionally to write stuff. So I write scripts. So when you hear people talk over and introduce what's going on in a scene, I would have written that. And also, I narrate stuff. So it makes me really laugh every time I go into a booth and read out loud and get paid for it, when I think back to the 11-year-old boy that couldn't read or write and thinking, I could never have written this. How can you, I would never have dreamed in my wildest dreams I'd ever end up in a situation where I get paid to read out loud. And that's, thanks actually to you guys here, because I wouldn't have ever been able to do that without you, so thank you. And that's why I'm here today.